Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in another chapter with Rodi's Realtors. Today we are here at Samana's headquarters in Business Bay to understand who is Samana, what is the history of Samana as a developer, what are the USPs, why an investor should invest in Samana, and what is the potential ROI that my clients, you as an investor can earn if you invest in any project of Samana. So we are here with the senior sales manager who is going to enlighten us with some information about Samana as a developer today.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. My clients would like to understand what is the history of Samana, when you guys exactly started.
Okay, well, I mean, that's simple enough. It's actually quite a compelling story, to be honest, because Samana, when they first started, they started in 1996. And they were not a developer, they were involved in immigration services. They only transitioned into becoming a developer in 2018. And this is why the story is so compelling, because you look at loads of developers out there, Damak, Nakil, Imar, Benghazi, Danube, Imtiaz, all of these guys have been around for years.
Yeah.
Okay, Imtiaz might be a little bit newer, but the point in that statement is that from 2018 to 2025, the year we're in right now, we have 42 projects.
That's a huge number,
Yeah.
42 projects.
We've
Great.
handed over 4 of those projects, with 2 being handed over later this year. We have 14 of those projects that are going to be handing over next year.
Okay.
And, you know, the main USPs of working with a company like Samana is, Samana introduced the whole swimming pool aspect. You know, having your own private swimming pool
In your
on your
balconies.
balcony is a concept that was formed by Samana. The locations, the strategic locations that we choose to develop, in my opinion, strategic, as I said, but why? Because the areas that they're building in are giving investors an opportunity to invest in pieces of land that by 2040 would be an incredible return on investment through capital appreciation.
Right.
Now, with that also being said, the price point of Samana is excellent. So what we're doing is we're providing affordable luxury.
And the payment plans.
And long payment plans. And when I say long payment plan, guys, I mean, look, how many developers are giving you an 8-year payment plan with majority of those years being post-handover? Okay?
No one.
And just to get to the end of my compelling story about why this is such an achievement for Samana from 2018 to 2025, is we were recently ranked by DLD. Now, this is not just some internet blog or, you know, some news outlet. This is the Dubai Land Department. The government of Dubai have ranked Samana as the 5th largest developer in Dubai. So if that could be achieved within a short span of 8 years, 7 to 8 years, by 2030, I believe Samana will be the #1 private developer in Dubai.
Exactly. And you know, when we talk about the strategic locations, so we have noticed one thing since we have been around the market since the last 5 years now. So we have noticed Samana has their plots almost very, very close to the nearby metro stations. What we have noticed to the upcoming metro stations, so near the blue line, all of these things, the locations, the USPs, and how you do your buildings from inside. That is making all the difference.
Well, I mean, just take, for example, Skyviews, Samana Skyviews. We just launched that last month, okay? What an incredible project. If you actually go to the site, you'll see that it's located in a place that is literally walking distance. And, you know, when I talk about walking distance, we're talking about Dubai here, right?
Right.
It's very, very hot,
True.
More than 30 seconds walking, you're sweating in this weather. Okay. This project is literally walking distance to Miasam Mall. Okay.
Miasam City Centre in IMPZ.
Okay. Not only that, but just behind the building, the purple metro line.
Purple metro line, yes.
Now, the greatest element of this investment for any investor is that they're buying into the project well before the construction of the metro line. So what is that going to do for the price per square foot of their property when that metro line comes into play?
The ROI is going to boom.
It's going to be an incredible transition. And you know, I always say to my investors, I say, look, you know, if I gave you an opportunity to invest in Dubai Marina 25, 30 years ago, knowing what it looks like today, would you invest? The answer to that is yes, you would, all day long, okay? So when you take that into account, when you look at the locations that we're actually targeting right now, we're being very specific on where we're targeting because we know where the expansion of Dubai is going to be during the course between now and 2040. So we know that by you investing in this piece of land right now in a project with Samana, in 3 to 5 years from now, post handover, you could potentially double your money on your investment through capital appreciation.
Exactly, and especially with buildings wherein you have pools inside your balconies, you know. So you were the guys who brought that concept of having a pool in your balcony, which is, I think, amazing for short-term rentals. Tourists love that.
So I'm so glad that you touched upon that point, right? Because short-term rentals is a big thing in this market, okay? And I think a lot of people don't actually understand why Airbnb or short-term let is actually so popular. Let me explain why. Okay, 5-star hotels in Dubai, you're paying 600, 700, 800, 1,000, 2,000 dirhams a night for a studio apartment, essentially, inside of a hotel.
True.
Why would people be more interested in taking short-term let or Airbnb? Very simply because of privacy.
True.
Okay, if I go into a 5-star hotel and I take somebody with me, they want ID, they want to know all the details of who that person is. Whereas Airbnb, I don't need to worry about that.
True.
And not only am I staying in an apartment that's private to me, I don't have to answer to anyone. I have the ability to go for a swim privately or just chill in my pool on my balcony whenever I feel like it. Who would want to pass up an opportunity like that?
I think that's a brilliant point. True. When you have such a property, why someone would like to spend more in a 5-star hotel rather than in a building where he can easily get into an Airbnb?
And let's be honest, properties that were built prior to 2020, okay, all of these properties are just standalone buildings. They don't really have anything special about them. They have their gyms, their saunas, their swimming pools. Nothing really spectacular, right? Now, we are building world-class amenities in our buildings, okay? We're talking outdoor gyms, outdoor amphitheaters, pools, children play areas, okay, yoga spots. There are so many outdoor amenities and amenities within the complex itself. It's like living in a resort. If you're not living in it, you're not an end user, you're an investor, you can be sure that through Airbnb, short-term let, you'll be making upwards of 15% ROI easily on short-term lets. If you were looking to long-term let it, you'd easily be able to make anywhere between 8 to 12% with our units in our locations.
And I think with the new rental index coming in, wherein in the old buildings, as you said, in the old buildings before 2020, without any facilities given inside the buildings, I don't think that the investors who put their money there, who park their money in those standalone towers are actually making any ROI.
You know what, funny story, I was speaking to an investor maybe 3 months ago and he was telling me that he bought an apartment in Dubai Marina in 2005. He spent 500,000 dirhams on the apartment in Diamond 1 actually. And he was like, you know, I don't understand, why am I not getting what? First of all, why can I not sell the property? Okay, why can I not sell the property? And secondly, why am I finding it difficult to rent it for the price that I want to rent it? Very simply because this is Dubai. Everybody that comes here wants the new and best version of what Dubai has to offer.
And people love luxury here.
Love luxury.
They're not here to survive.
Exactly. And when you look at how many buildings have come up in Marina since that time of 2005, and I said to him, you know, if you really wanted to capitalize on your return, you would buy now and then you would resell 3 to 5 years post handover in order to get your maximum capital gains. and then move it into another property, unless of course you're planning to live in it. But even back then, they had no concept whatsoever of putting a swimming pool on a balcony, and that concept came about when Samana started operations in 2018.
You know, even I came across a client who came up through YouTube actually. She was having a budget of 500,000 dirhams, and she said, can you get me something good with Samana, with a pool in the balcony, maybe a studio or something. So that time I think your project Samana Hills South, that came up. So because of the payment plan, I somehow explained my client that with that budget of 500 dirhams, she can even afford to buy a one bed. And that was possible only and only with Samana. You know, with that kind of liquidity in hand, she could enter into this 8-year-long payment plan. And I think till handover, she was just paying some 640,000 dirhams only. So when she was ready to buy a studio full cash for 500,000, I told her, ma'am, it's better if you invest in a one bed with Samana. The price point was around 880. So with the payment plan, she was just paying price of a studio, buying a one bed.
Do you know, it's incredible you say that, right? Because when I look at past experiences with the property market as a whole, I think, you know, the biggest benefit of our payment plan for investors is that we're giving them the ability to only pay 70% of the property price. Okay.
Right.
So whatever we say, if we say, look, we're going to give you a one bedroom apartment and we're going to charge you 1 million dirhams for that one bedroom apartment, okay, you can know that you're only actually going to be spending 700,000 dirhams out of your own pocket for that apartment. Why? Because when it hands over, if you are an investor and you're an astute investor and you understand numbers, then you'll realize straight away that, okay, that remaining 30% is going to be covered by rental returns, short-term let returns, whatever it may be. But that money will not be coming out of your pocket.
Exactly. So when you're buying with Samana, you can be rest assured that the 30% of the value you're not paying from your pocket. Rather, if you even flip their property, suppose if you flip also, a person who has entered at 1 million can easily exit at 1.3, 1.4 at the time of handover.
I mean, look, the great thing about Samana's projects is that usually when we launch, we sell out straight away.
Right.
Okay.
We have experienced this.
Yeah. And that is great for investors that are fast enough, because look, if you invest in one of our properties and you get in early enough and we sell out our building, all you have to do is get to 40% of the cost of that property, and then you can flip that property for a profit straight away. Without one brick being laid, you can flip that property as long as you've covered the first 40%.
And even if he wants to continue, it's just 1% monthly.
I mean,
so mostly it's like paying your rent, and then at the price of rent, you're building your own.
I mean, it's actually madness when you look at how cheap it is. Right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that when we talk about it being cheap, we're not talking about the quality being cheap. No, right? We have the ability to provide you as an investor or as an end user affordable luxury. That's what we like to call it here, affordable luxury. I mean, any investors that are watching this right now, come down. Come and have a look at our showrooms. We have a showroom here. You'll see the quality that goes into our buildings. And also as well, a lot of the buildings that are being built by most other developers don't come with anything in them. It's shell and core, you know, it's literally just, they're buying a property that's unfurnished. At least with our properties, they come semi-furnished, okay, with white goods. And yeah, so, I mean, fantastic, really.
So even for the first time buyers who are just here to taste the waters, even if they enter with Samana, they can be stress-free in a way that with all of these USPs, with this kind of payment plan, with such a post-handover flexible payment plan, 1% monthly, and such kind of amenities inside the building, the interiors that they have at your home, I think that all makes sense why Samana is in the topmost developers of Dubai today. So we would like to understand what is more in the kitty. So as we come towards the end of this podcast, I would like to understand what are the benefits of buying in Samana now for investors?
Well, interesting. Great question. I'm glad you asked that. Look, I mean, aside from the fact that we've just been ranked fifth largest developer in Dubai, which I myself am very proud of, you know, being part of the Samana family, that's great. But I think, look, what we offer clients, we offer something that isn't really offered in the market. We've got the private pools, obviously, but more importantly, we also give them the option to furnish their properties fully. So we have actually a furniture package, and we also have a maintenance package that can be bought as well for the swimming pools. So, and it's very small amount of money as well. So for 500 dirhams a month, we can have somebody that will come and clean the pools 2 or 3 times a month, okay? So you don't have to worry about the headache, because like a lot of investors will think to themselves, well, you know, it's great having a pool on the balcony, but how am I going to maintain it?
Yeah.
We're there to support you the whole way. We can furnish your apartment, we can clean the pool regularly, and we'll just make it so easy for you to rent out. It will probably get rented out the day it hands over.
I think that's the best thing. If you guys are providing even those kind of services, you know, wherein it becomes very hassle-free for the clients.
Yeah.
I think that's the best part. And the other thing, as you mentioned, that mostly these projects, because of their popularity, their demand, they are getting sold out within a day. So how can somebody enter with Samana?
Oh, I mean, the process of buying with Samana is very simple. Look, when we know that we're about to launch a project, and this could be 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even longer, before we actually get to the launch day of the project. Okay. You guys out there, you investors, end users, if you want to be involved in one of our projects, you need to get in well before the launch date. Okay.
In the form of expression of interest?
Yes, in the form of an expression of interest, which is a 40,000 dirham payment, AED payment, okay? What that does is that allows us to put you into what we would call a queue, okay?
Oh, okay.
So if you're the first person to put an expression of interest, which we terminology-wise call it EOI,
okay.
If you were the first person to submit an EOI, technically speaking, on a first-come, first-served basis, okay, you would have the first refusal on one of the properties. Now, technically speaking, that's not always the case. You would be at the front of the queue. However, if you are somebody that is really interested in the project, really want to get involved, and you know that you really want one of the units, then it would be advisable for you to pay the down payment on the property. So with a standard down payment, it would be 20%. Okay. If you pay 20% before the launch of the project, then we will actually give you the option to choose your unit before it even goes live. So it really does come on both a first come, first served basis, but also a priority based upon how much you have invested in the project from the get-go, okay? I mean, we currently have packages right now where we'll give people the opportunity, investors the opportunity, to pay full cash and receive a 25% discount on the property price. Or we'll give them an ROI of 8% guaranteed for 3 years.
ROI.
Okay, so that means that they're getting 8% ROI on their property during construction. So that means that technically speaking, they never lose out, because they're getting 8% a year, and then as soon as it hands over, 3 years later, they can then rent out the property and continue receiving that ROI, okay? So again, we give you the opportunity to get involved with the project. Now, I'm gonna be honest, we don't have, when we launch a project, maybe that project like Skyviews, for instance, has 556 units in it. If we get 1,000 DOIs, there's going to be 496 people that are not gonna be able to obtain the unit. Simple as that, okay? So it really is first come, first served. Now, if you really like the project, the advice is submit an EOI. Now, the great advantage that you have with submitting an EOI is that you're guaranteed to be early in the queue. But more importantly, if for whatever reason we're unable to secure you a unit in our project, that EOI is fully refundable.
Fully refundable, okay.
So you're not actually losing anything.
So the investors, they are protected in every way possible. So guys, hurry up. If you also need to secure a unit with Samana in one of their luxurious projects, you need to start today. Contact us to submit your expression of interest well before time.
I look forward to meeting you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.